Hi, and welcome to the Re-Energize Your Home 5-Day Challenge. I'm your host, Dr. Christine Lee, and I'm looking forward to getting started with day 5. I want to remind you of our engagement contest. When you submit your biggest takeaway from today's presentation and or any other of the days of the presentation, and or your before and after pictures of your decluttering progress, you will gain entries into our engagement contest. And the grand prize is a 6-week scholarship to my signature coaching program called Simply Productive. So remember to get your entries in. The promise of this challenge, I want to remind you, is that you're going to find joy and energy via your space and the changes in your mindset. And I know many of you have been actively participating and really finding the surge in energy and the beautiful spaces that you're living in. And the core premise of this challenge is that when we remove blocks to our energy and our mindset, we then land ourselves firmly on the path to success. And I want to remind you where we've been through this challenge. We started perhaps at a unaware situation where we just didn't realize how much the clutter was affecting us. Or we were on level 4 where we were feeling irritated and indecisive. Or you were on level 3 where you were handling the clutter, but then the clutter was returning to your space. So we call that clutter cycling. But perhaps now you're feeling more like on a level 2, where you have a plan, you're pursuing the plan, but you're a little bit perplexed as to how you're going to keep this going for the long term. And then some of you may have already reached level 1, where you're feeling successful and totally streamlined, like you've got this nailed down. And wherever you are on this hierarchy, have kindness towards yourself because you know you're going up. We've accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. After all, it's only been 5 days, and we're looking for much more accomplishment in the future. We've solved these sticky problems so far. On day 1, we dealt with the presence of clutter all around, and we learned that when we set our rocket goal and we touch 1 to 3 items daily, we can make progress forward. On day 2, we discussed about the topic of resistance when we just won't do things, even though we know they need to be done. And we decided that when we learn commitment to our goal, that tends to solve the resistance issue, because when we stick to our goals, then the fear tends to be just a smaller voice in our head. And then on day 3, we dealt with what do you do when you're just out of time, out of energy. And I taught you that we are energy beings and that you can always find a source, a renewable source of energy within yourself. And then on day 4, we dealt with limiting beliefs, those beliefs that tend to keep us acting really small in a constrained, tightened up, fearful way. And how do you deal with those? You just make sure that you continuously up level your own belief in yourself. And today we're going to deal with a different problem. Today's problem is, how do you set yourself up for success going forward? Even though you've learned different tips for energy management, resistance busting, and figuring out how to keep yourself in the present moment, what does the future hold for us? How are you supposed to continue the successes you've created here if you don't have a reliable plan for your future steps? That's the conundrum for today. And the solution is, we're going to invest in your well being and growth. And I'm going to show you how to do that in the next few slides. We're going to honor the work that you are doing. You're going to honor the part of you that felt stuck, that felt clutter unaware, that was clutter cycling, that had no energy for clutter, that felt too impaired or time starved to do the clutter. You're going to honor that period of time, but you're also going to honor the steps that you've taken in the past 5 days to learn new things, to open up your heart, to let go of the stress and the fear. And you're going to honor the path forward. So it's always about treating yourself kindly and treating yourself well. And then you're going to take the time to make sure your belief in yourself is just purely unstoppable. The lessons that you've learned this week, they're small, but they're so valuable because they've shown you that you can move even when you didn't think you could move. They've shown you that you could overcome your own limiting self beliefs. They've shown you that you can move clutter whenever you want to at any time of the day, no matter how busy you are and no matter how small in energy you feel, how low in energy you feel. So you have learned over the course of this week how to be unstoppable. Let's keep that moving forward. It's been such a pleasure to see you operate at that level. And I want to remind you that if you feel called to do something, if you feel bothered by something, take care of it. If you feel inspired to do something, go do it. You are the boss, you are the manager, you are the designer of this life of yours. So remember, if you feel it, you do it. And that will help you with that unstoppable action, with that continuous progress. And I want to remind you finally to stick to your vision. That rocket goal that we picked on day one of the challenge is just a small part of your big vision. So remember, you're always going to stick with your goals and your vision, your big, gigantic vision for your life. And you're not going to let your fear lead you away from that vision because that's what fear and honestly clutter does. It reminds us that we're not good enough. And who needs any reminders of that? Let's be honest with ourselves. We need daily, moment to moment reminders that we are rock stars, that we are meant to fulfill our life vision, that our life is too meaningful and too rich and too sparkly to be dumbed down by our fears. So I want to remind you about our general path here during the challenge. You want to have just a rock solid plan for making your vision come to life. These are some steps that I put together for you. One, you want to take aligned action. That means when you feel it, you do it. When it feels right for you, you move forward. You don't stay with your fears, you stay with your goals. Number two, be pulled, not pushed. That means you're never going to force yourself into doing things. You're going to be inspired and drawn and magnetized to your big plan and your big vision for your life. So it should never be a conflict situation. From now on, you're just going to glide forward. Step number three, you're going to get rid of clutter and any other blocks to your energy because as we've learned over the course of this week, if this is eminently doable, you can get rid of any pylons that are on the road of your success. You can get rid of all the roadblocks so you can get clarity and open your heart even further. Step four, you're going to remind yourself of your commitment at every step. When you feel resistance, you remind yourself of your commitment. When you feel low on energy, you're going to get up again and you're going to touch 1 to 3 items or do the thing that satisfies your path to your vision. And step number 5, you're going to keep yourself surrounded with good advice, with good support and good community, just like the one you found inside the challenge. I do believe we tend to do better when we have the right community, when we have the right information, when we feel excited for new things and for new parts of our life being revealed. That helps us to stay energized and well. So remember, when you believe in something, you add energy to that. So believe in yourself. Believe in the premise of this challenge. Believe that when you remove energy blocks, the path starts to open wider for you and you get further down the path of success. And remember your assignment for the challenge. You're going to recommit to your rocket goal. You're going to set a new rocket goal if you've already finished your original rocket goal. You're going to touch 1 to 3 items today. You're going to work with joy and enthusiasm instead of that feeling of heaviness and dread. And you're going to let us know what your biggest takeaway was for day 5. And you're going to enter your before and after pictures inside the day 5 post in the featured section at the top of our Challenge Facebook group. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being with me today. I want to remind you to join us at the celebration party this Sunday at 4:30. We're going to pick the grand prize winner, the winner of that 6-week scholarship to the Simply Productive program starting soon. And I look forward to seeing you all at the celebration and to reading all your wins inside the Facebook group. Thank you so much for watching day 5 of the challenge, and go get them. Take care. Bye.